So today I wanted to talk about managing worry and anxiety. It's something that many of us do, particularly at the moment during a global pandemic. And our minds often wonder and worry about things that have happened in the past or things that might happen in the future. It has a tendency to replay events over and over and go through it in your mind, focus on the things that might go wrong and the negative things that might happen, compare ourselves to others. These are some of the things that our mind does that's not particularly helpful and that can cause us worry and anxiety. And that's your mind. It's not trying to make your life miserable. It's not trying to make you sad or angry or worried. It's just trying to keep you safe. That's an evolved mechanism, and it's trying to keep you safe, but it's not particularly helpful. So what can you do about it? Well, I see it a little bit like a radio playing, and sometimes the radio channel will be positive and happy and it'll be a nice song, and sometimes it'll be sad and gloomy, maybe when the news is being reported. And your mind is a little bit like that. Sometimes it's playing happy stories and sometimes it's playing sad stories or worrying stories. And the first step is to be able to recognize what radio channel your mind is playing. So if you're not aware that it's going negative and playing your worries over and over, then you can't really do anything about it. So recognize that your mind has gone to a negative radio channel. And then put a few steps in place to help come back to a bit of a more positive channel. The first strategy that I think is really helpful when your mind is worrying and you're becoming really anxious is just to breathe. And it might sound so simple, but breathing is such a powerful mechanism that we can use because it's something that we can do consciously and subconsciously. It connects our mind and our body. So being able just to pause and take a few deep breaths can just really help to reset yourself. It has brilliant physical impacts like slowing your heart rate, relaxing your muscles a little bit, but it also has really positive mental impacts as well in terms of stopping your mind from worrying about the past or worrying about the future and bringing it to the present moment and what you're doing right here, right now. And therefore it's hard for your mind to worry if you're in the present moment. So remembering to take a few deep breaths. It could be 10 seconds, 30 seconds. It could be a few minutes if you've got time, but just to ground yourself in the here and now and stop your mind from worrying too much. And the other strategy that I wanted to share with you is what's known as the time travel machine. So when our minds are getting carried away with worry and anxiety, it's to ask yourself a simple question. What will I think or feel about this in 10 years' time? So whatever the situation is that you're going through, just take a moment to say, how will I feel about this in 10 years' time? Or what might I be thinking about this in 10 years' time? And what that helps to do is just to put your worries and anxieties in a little bit of perspective. Because often our minds are wondering and worrying about things that in a few days or weeks may not even be that important to us anymore, but we get carried away in the moment. So just taking a minute to take that step back and ask yourself, how will I feel about this in 10 years' time? And that's not to devalue anything that you're worrying about, but it's just to help you see that actually often our minds are getting completely carried away, and soon enough we may even have forgotten it, but certainly we won't be as worried about it as we are right now. So 2 strategies there that I hope will help you manage worry and anxiety during this lockdown period.